Sample problem 8.13 of your textbook asks how many grams of fat are present in 250 grams of 2% milk. Pause the video to answer. There are a variety of ways to solve percentage problems. We can use this definition where the percentage is equal to the part divided by the whole multiplied by 100% and plug in what we know. And you can also use a proportion. And I'm going to use a proportion to explain the answer because that's what your textbook does. When we use a proportion to solve a percent problem, on the left-hand side we put the percentage divided by 100 because that's what a percent is, some number per 100. And then on the right we have our part divided by our whole. So plugging in to what is given us, our percentage is 2. So 2 goes in our numerator and 100 goes in our denominator. Now in the textbook it described 2% milk as an example of mass per mass percentage. So since we know the units are grams of fat per grams of milk, excuse me, I'll include those units, but this proportion will always work even if we don't use the units. So on the left-hand side we have 2 grams of fat per 100 grams of milk, and on the right we have grams of fat, which is what we're solving for, our part, divided by the whole, which is 250 grams of milk, or the mass of the solution. So since I'm solving for grams of fat, I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 250 grams of milk. So on the right-hand side, my 250 grams of milk cancel out, and on my left-hand side, I multiply 250 by 2 and then divide by 100 to get an answer of 5. Notice that my units of grams of milk cancel out. So I'm going to always check to see if my answer makes sense, not just in percentage problems, but in any problem. And let's think about this. So if I have 250 grams of milk, 1% of that is going to be 2.5 grams. So 2% would be twice that, which is 5 grams. So yes, my answer makes sense.